The AI industry just dropped a bombshell that nobody's talking about. OpenAI's newest breakthrough models are literally twice as unreliable as their old ones. Now, I know you think I'm probably making these numbers up and pulling them out of thin air, but I'm not. I'm actually getting these numbers directly from OpenAI's reports themselves. Now, think about that. Their most advanced AI makes stuff up 33% of the time, while their previous models only hallucinated 16% of the time. How is going backwards considered progress? Everybody keeps talking about how rapidly the AI is advancing. I'm seeing it going backwards in a lot of cases, but they're trading any progress for a lot of these non-improvements. And here's the kicker. They openly admit that they have no idea why it's happening. Now, if the industry leaders can't figure out their own technology, what does that tell us about the entire AI gold rush that's going on right now? Now, I've been building software for a long time, and I'm seeing the exact same pattern that proceeded with every major tech bubble crash. Let's dive into this today. Welcome to Startup Hack. I'm Spencer, and here at Startup Hack, we love to train software developers and to build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years in software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and products. All right, so the AI hype machine has been running full throttle, but the data coming out of OpenAI's own system card reveals a harsh reality. When I analyzed their O3 and O4 mini documentation, I found smoking gun evidence that this bubble is deflating faster than anyone wants to admit. So let me break down some really interesting pieces of evidence that shows you where we're witnessing the beginning of the end for AI hype. Now, again, AI hype. I'm not saying AI is going to go away. I'm saying the bubble is going to burst. As in previous times when we look at the .com bubble burst or the Web 3.0 bubble, the Web 3 bubble burst, we see these things burst where there's a hype, a technology crashes, the investors run away, and we're left with some good technology, which we then build to good things. Right? This is what a bubble burst is. This is what historically talked about. And there's tons more before that. We could talk about, cloud hosting. We talk about all kinds of bubbles, right? But I'm not taking this from an unreliable source because already I can hear all the naysayers out there saying, you're wrong. My favorite comment was I got one from somebody who says, you are wrong. My response was like, says the person who can't use whole words. Anyways, I love to have comments, so please leave comments, but I love to have an intelligent comment. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be like some amazing novel, but like, hopefully use real words. Anyways, the stuff that I'm going to work on today is directly from OpenAI themselves. I'm reading their report and telling you what I'm spotting from my time in the industry, and I'm going to point some things out to you today. So if you think I'm making this up, let me go right to where my sources are here. So this is the addendum to OpenAI O3 and O4 mini system cards, OpenAI 3 operator. So I'll just read it really quick. In January 2025, we shipped Operator, a product to serve our CUA model as research preview. The agentic model that can use the web to perform tasks, blah, 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 blah. We're replacing the existing 4.0 based model. They're doing all this. O3 operator uses the same thing, etc. Although O3 model inherited O3 coding capabilities, does not have native access to coding environment or terminal. Okay, so you go here, you look at this, and this is where they actually hide all the dead body. This is where they bury all the bodies in here, right? And hopefully I don't get flagged by YouTube for saying like horrible things. Anyways. But as you dig through this, what you're going to find is you're actually going to find some crazy numbers here, right? And you got to really know what you're looking for and be able to really start to dig through this. So one of the things that's really interesting is some of these pass rates as they talk about the GPT-4o, as they talk about the LM inference, risk mitigation, right? What things are they worried about risking, the harmful tasks, right? And all of this, right? So you break this down, you start talking about what the metrics are that they're using. So again, and I'm going to break this down for you because in case, I really doubt that most of you want to spend your time, reading 17 pages of this operator manual. So let me break this down for you here today, but I just wanted to point out that's where I was getting this. So OpenAI's O3 model produces false information 33% of the time. That's literally double the error rate of their O1 model. Their O4 mini model is even worse, hallucinating nearly 48% of the time. Now, I already hear everybody screaming, there's no way they could show a product that's 48% wrong. What that means is that of the response, at least 48% of the responses have some level of hallucination in it, meaning they have non-factual data. Let's talk about what hallucinations are. When an LLM, which is what actually powers AI, I actually really hate the term AI because it's not artificial intelligence. This is math plus RAG. It's some technology plus some cool GPUs at really big scale, really fast, right? When the LLMs are processing and they hit a point where they don't know something, they use pattern matching to get as near as possible. This is the mathematical equation of how LLMs work. When they're doing this, if they don't know something, they go to the nearest pattern. This can cause what is called in the industry hallucination, where it's unfactual information. That means that of the responses from O4 Mini, 48% contain some level of these hallucinations, this misinformation. This means that their most advanced model, the O4 Mini right now is the most advanced reasoning model, is less trustworthy than flipping a coin for accuracy, because you just don't know what parts aren't accurate. Enterprise customers are already calling these models nearly unusable in production environments. Companies that invested millions in AI initiatives are discovering their expensive solutions randomly fabricate information. The math is brutal. If your AI lies to you 1 out of every 3 interactions, how can you trust it with anything important? So OpenAI literally states in their technical documentation that, quote, the more research is needed to understand the cause. Another way to say this in layman's terms, we don't know what's going on. They're shipping products to millions of users, one of the fastest growing products in history, while openly admitting that they don't understand how it works. This is like a car manufacturer releasing vehicles where saying, well, we're not really sure why the brakes sometimes don't work, but we're going to ship it anyways. The fact that their reasoning models get less reliable as they get more advanced should terrify every investor out there. They're creating AI systems that are more convincing liars than their predecessors. And that might seem a little strong, but like one of my biggest problems here with AI is that in engineering, we've been taught 5 nines or 6 nines for so many years. And what that means is a system has to be accurate 99.9999% of the time. Otherwise, it's not usable. Like 5 nines, 6 nines is engineering standards. Why it is that when we've come to AI, we've thrown these engineering standards out the windows is beyond me. If companies building these systems don't understand them, how can businesses make critical decisions based on their input? Now, third-party testing reveals that O3 claiming it executed code on a MacBook Pro outside of ChatGPT, when it physically can't do that. So the third-party testing is actually saying that the models are telling it stuff that it couldn't do. These models are literally making up actions they claim to have performed during their reasoning process. And again, I'm just getting this from their own documentation. OpenAI markets tool integration capabilities that don't actually work as advertised. The gap between demo magic and production reality has never been wider. We saw this just last week with Microsoft at their Build conference. We saw this with Google at their I/O conference. They're demoing stuff that isn't reality, and everybody believes it because they're putting it into a demo. We saw Apple do this earlier with their Apple Intelligence, and then they ended up having to pull it because it was so bad. This is the implementation gaps on steroids. We're not just overselling capabilities. They're investing entirely in them. And that's what's so weird to me about this right now. Everybody's lost their mind on AI. It's one of the worst hype cycles I've seen in my 25-year experience. Now, OpenAI system cards discuss sandbagging, where their models intentionally hide their true capabilities to achieve goals. They've built AI systems that are programmed to potentially deceive users about what they can actually do. This creates a fundamental trust problem for any business critical applications. How do you verify the reliability of a system designed to conceal its own limitations? Now, if your company has systems that aren't connected, reach out to us, because here at Startup Hack, our specialty is connecting systems to help your company work like a well-oiled machine. So check out startuphack.com/Spencer, because we'd love to help you out. Now, developers across the industry are publicly stating that these models are nearly unusable due to reliability issues. OpenAI continues marketing them as enterprise-ready solutions despite documented failure rates. The interesting thing is that where these 33 to 48% between O3 and O4, in the O1 models, they were near about 16% of hallucinations. So the interesting thing is that they're getting worse, right? Because they keep trying to push the limit to it. We've hit the point of diminishing return, and it's going to continue to get worse. This is why we've seen Meta hold back on Llama's release. It's a reason we're seeing even OpenAI saying they're delaying the GPT-5 release, right? We're building elaborate systems, and the problems there is that OpenAI spends enormous effort documenting safety evaluations while shipping products with 33 to 48% error rates. They've classified these models as medium risk for autonomy while basic reliability remains unbroken. So it's kind of like if you're doing that thing where you scroll down and you say, yeah, I'm reading all the fine print and just signing. That's what's going on here. This is the fine print. And they're saying that this is listed as a medium risk. The focus on appearing responsible has distracted them from solving fundamental functionality problems. Now, businesses are building critical functions on APIs that they don't control or understand, creating single points of failure. That's why I really laugh every time I see these businesses that have slapped AI on them, and you go look at it and you're like, this is clearly just a business that threw a wrapper around OpenAI's APIs. Pricing changes or policy updates can instantly destroy entire business models built on these platforms. The other part is that companies are sending sensitive customer data into third-party APIs and these AI providers without adequate security controls. The lack of fallback systems mean businesses are completely at the mercy of the AI providing this. Now, the promised full automation is quietly being replaced with human-in-the-loop systems across the industry. Companies discovered that AI mistake costs exceed human review costs in most practical applications. This is why this week we've seen Duolingo start to pull back, and they were one of the loudest. Klarna, who is one of the loudest, has now started to replace humans with hiring. They've totally got egg on their face, and they're having to publicly admit it. Full automation projects are consistently failing when they encounter real-world complexity. That's why IBM released a report. They interviewed 2,000 executives and found that only 16% of AI projects right now are moving forward. It's huge, right? This is because people are not realizing the real limitations of AI. I'm using that with air quotes. But I love developing on these LLMs, but you've got to know how to use them. You can't just blindly accept everything that comes out of them. So if you have systems that you would like to start to investigate building AI agents on, I'm happy to help with the consulting on this. Check out startuphack.com/Spencer because we can help you out. Or if you just need other, general purpose software development, we're really good at that. Hit us up. Now, general purpose AI assistants are being abandoned in favor of focused, domain-specific tools. This is part of how we can see the market is shifting. We're hearing less and less about AGI and more about AI agents. This is because people are figuring out that LLMs are good at solving a specific task when trained to that specific thing. The one-size-fits-all approach is proving economically unsustainable for most real-world applications. So unless you're Elon Musk and you can buy 200,000 H100s, which there are like one company on the planet that can do that, and they're just throwing so much hardware at it that it's really, truly unrealistic. And the reason Elon Musk is doing it is because he's trying to pump his valuation. Totally get it. He's playing 4D chess with this. And if you're the richest man in the world, you can do some of that. The rest of us 8 billion or whatever people that are on the earth, we're going to have to find different ways, right? That's why I provide a lot of code samples here. Check out some of my playlists. I've got a whole playlist full of code samples that can help you to build, give you free code on how I built an AI server for less than $500. I'm not trying to get you to pay me $500. I'm showing you how I built the hardware and then give you some code samples that will run on this that you can start to build some cool AI agents for your company. And if you want help with that, reach out to us at startuphack.com/Spencer. So everyone wants to build AI, but qualified practitioners remain scarce across the industry. So if you find some vibe coder out there who says, I can use AI to build anything you want, run quickly. Companies are promoting regular developers to AI engineers after minimal training, then wondering why the project fails. The quality gap between elite AI teams and average implementation groups is wider than most executives realize. So upcoming AI regulations will fundamentally undermine many current business models. As people pull the covers back and figure out that they've been pumping sensitive customer data into these open APIs for AI on the name of being able to slap AI onto their business, there's going to be penalties, right? Regulatory compliance costs are going to build up. So executives who approve millions for AI initiatives are now demanding measurable returns on investments. And most AI projects were launched during the hype cycle without clear success metrics or KPIs. The uncomfortable questions is, what did we actually get for that money is being asked in boardrooms right now. And it's starting to becoming a time for reckoning. And that's the reason why we're going to start to see this bubble burst. Companies that built real solutions to real problems will survive, while hype chasers face brutal reckoning. This ROI accountability phase always comes. I've seen it over and over again from the dot-com era, and it was even before my time, but I saw it through the dot-com era. I saw it through Web 2.0. I saw it through crypto. I saw it through Web 3.0. I've seen it through multiple different, I saw it through cloud hosting. I've seen a lot of different hype cycles. Now, if your company wants to get out of the hype cycle and make some real software, check out startuphack.com/Spencer, because we would love to help you out. Now, love to hear you guys' thoughts. Leave your comments down below. It's the best compliment I get. I answer all of these personally. It takes me a long time. Spend 1 to 2 hours every single day answering comments, but I love it. So make sure you hit me up down in the comments down below, or check out startuphack.com/Spencer, and here's some great information about some of our services.
Hi, my name is Spencer Thomason, and I'm a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. So what is a fractional CTO? This is where you can contract someone like myself to come into your organization and get the benefits of a seasoned CTO without having to employ me full time. In today's fast-paced world, efficiency, security, and product scaling aren't just goals, they're necessities. My passion is building impactful products and enhancing organizational efficiencies through technology. From startups to small businesses, my approach leverages lean methodologies to not just meet but exceed your strategic goals. Whether it's through executive mentoring, cloud system architecture, or launching a minimum viable product swiftly, my aim is to make a significant impact right from the start. Recognized in the Arizona startup ecosystem, my journey has been about creating value and fostering innovation. I have led technology for companies like GoDaddy, SRP, and Wells Fargo, and turned challenges into milestones. I've taken this learning and launched 7 of my own brands, and now I want to help you. So if you're looking for a fractional CTO who brings a wealth of experience, strategic vision, and a proven track record, let's connect. Together we can build technology that not only drives your business forward, but also makes a difference. Technology leadership redefined to fit your needs. So reach out today.